Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Omni viewer, and I'm here with some big news regarding Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019. Michael Dougherty has tweeted a behind-the-scenes image that gives us our first semi-look at Godzilla in this film. And I know you don't want me to keep you waiting, so here it is. So the perspective in this picture really does remind me a lot of the cinematography from Godzilla 2014. It's the way in which the film kept people and familiar objects in the foreground and the kaiju in the background in order to emphasize just how big the kaiju are. This feels very much like that. Whether or not it will comprise the majority of shots, I don't know, but it does mean there's going to be at least some visual consistency between this movie and the previous movie. But enough about that, let's look at Godzilla himself. Now, obviously, this is not the final rendering of the character. This is an unfinished rendering, but it's clear enough that we can get a pretty good idea of what he looks like. And he looks pretty much like he did in the last movie. Ever since Tom Woodruff Jr. was announced for the special effects and creature designing in this film, there's been a lot of speculation about whether or not Godzilla would be redesigned. I know I've seen at least a few channels predicting a massive overhaul for the King of the Monsters. I personally figured that the changes would be minor. Overall, we'd probably still be getting a Godzilla that looked like the Godzilla from the previous films. And this would seem to confirm that idea. At least from the neck up, this is clearly the same creature from Godzilla 2014. Interestingly, the teeth and eyes look slightly different. Zooming in a little, it looks like Godzilla actually has more teeth than the previous version. And the eyes are slightly bigger. I remember some people saying legendary Godzilla's eyes were way too small, but this appears to have them be slightly bigger. Not gigantic, but slightly bigger. Beyond that though, it's difficult to tell what other details, if any, have been altered. But, yet again, there's that element of consistency. If you didn't like the legendary Godzilla design to begin with, then I'm sure you're disappointed. But that's your prerogative. Actually, looking at the reflection on the window, man, those look an awful lot like lightning bolts. I mean, it's probably just the way the lights are reflecting off the window, but man, wouldn't it be crazy if that was actually meant to be King Ghidorah's gravity beams? So that's our first look at Godzilla in this film. It's kind of interesting, really. I remember how the 2014 production spent so much time hiding what Godzilla looks like. And now suddenly we've got a nice semi-clear look at him. So, we've got our first look at Godzilla, and we got our first look at Mothra. Will Rodan and King Ghidorah be far behind? Well, be sure to keep checking back here, and I'll let you know if and when it happens. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni viewer, signing off.